Hey beautiful people, I am Sintaiki, but you could call me Tai. And welcome to A Conversation with Tai. Today, I have two amazing guys with me, who I'm blessed to call my friends. They're both handsome, intelligent, strong. Today, we're going to talk about something that I've always wanted to hear a man speak about. You might actually want to hear two ladies. Are women really confusing? A man's perspective. You ready? You ready? You ready? Yes, I am ready. I'm ready. I am ready. I have my tea. Let's get into it. A conversation with Tai. So hey everybody, we're back with these two guys. This is Omavi. I call him Mavi. This is Laland. I call him Lipes. Are we really confusing, ladies? Like really? Well, we're going to hear from the guys themselves. I chose these two guys because I feel like I may get two different perspectives from them. Maybe. We'll see. Right? So, we're going to begin. So guys, is there or has there been any time in your life where a woman, may it be a relative or a friend, that may have done something that would have caused you to say, yo, I'm not confused and do?
I think the question would be when has there not been a time?
Wow!
We might talk probably till tomorrow.
Yeah.
Wow.
When has there
Wow.
not been a time?
Because you're talking about examples and I like cycling the folder, right? I mean, it have some common ones. It have some real common ones.
Mm-hmm.
I believe women admit it and men experience it. And that is the whole dilemma of where you want to eat.
Oh yeah,
I was like,
guys
but is that a woman thing alone though?
yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Wow.
Definitely.
Sometimes, because I don't know, well, I can speak for myself.
Mhm.
I mean, I'll be feeling for somebody, I know I'm hungry. When you're hungry, you just want to eat. You have no time to be picky and there. So, let me say, a common place people would know would be food court in the mall, right? You know, you say, you feel for, what's this thing, boy? The barbecue place. I'm from country.
Which one is it?
Yeah.
That place.
Yeah.
You know, can eat that. But the thing about it is, you're going to watch a movie, you're hungry, and it's about 20 minutes to the time to go in and you walk with seat, all that kind of. So, it's at the Chinese place, right? You know, walk on, go. And it's not about, I'm feeling for that now. I can't eat that. Something else. And that is the confusing part about it, right? Is that, alright, so, what do you want to eat? I don't know. You pick. Right. Cool. You want Chinese? Nah. No, alright. So then there's a whole 15 minutes about trial and error.
But what about like when you actually reach up to the counter to order the food? Usually just be like, well, you go ahead and order, and you know, they'll be like, no, well, you order. So I go ahead, I want X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
And they come and they ask, okay, I would like A, but how A does B, 10, and C, and
But that's just a woman being, specific, particular. Like,
yeah.
she knows what she wants to eat. But she ordered the food from there, so that's good, right?
No. Something you say was wrong. She don't know what she want to eat, but she know what she don't want to eat.
Which is everything.
It's everything you put on the plate now.
Wow. So, we're going to talk relationships now. It is scientifically proven that women are more emotional beings than men are. And men are more logical. Do you believe that women act off of emotion?
All the time.
If you didn't hear,
All the time.
Okay, how so? Okay, again, give an example. Because we can't speak for all women, and I cannot speak for all men either, right? We know that. But I feel like a lot of women aren't necessarily emotional, or they're not in tune with their emotions, so they choose not to be emotional to their men. I don't know, I mean, obviously based on situations that may have happened in your life, I'm sure, obviously, right? Do you care to share an example? You know, woman seemed very or your woman or ex or anybody, because it's relationships we're speaking.
Let's start asking for examples.
Yeah, because so you're setting me up.
No, that too is way too much example.
Yes,
Way
nah.
too much. But I have a TV doing better example. I think what happened. So two things I want to address. One, when you said that not all women are in tune with emotion. I think there's a difference between being emotional and being emotive.
Okay,
You
very
know,
true.
a lot of men aren't emotive.
Most definitely.
But they have emotions, but they know how to manage it.
Right.
Most women that I know, I can't speak for all women, but most women that I know are very emotional, even if they aren't 100% emotive.
Okay, fair
And
enough.
it comes up in many different forms, right? I think, so that's the first thing. I think the second part is one of the reasons why women approach stuff like that is because men are really, really good at compartmentalizing. At least myself, I am really, really good at compartmentalizing. A thing that I really do like is nervous energy. Like you will hardly see me panicking about something, and even if I become anxious, I know how to mask it well.
Okay.
A woman, based on my experience, she doesn't really have the luxury of that, or even if she has the aptitude to compartmentalize to a certain degree, at some point in time her emotional self comes out, because women tend to be very passionate, like men, we passionate about cars and football and like the things that we
There are select things
yes,
that they will
things
get a
that-
man
yeah.
emotional and passionate about.
I'm passionate about, but
Very
generally, based on my experience, women get emotional for and passionate about the simplest things. Talking about you're trying to apply makeup and something doesn't go. It's like just simple things,
Gosh.
and those things are just superficial things. I mean, and this it goes deeper. It spirals.
But cars
deeper.
and whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
Very superficial.
But we that's our cutoff point. We anything after that, any emotion coming out after that is it can be extremely grave. Or the time I see men get really emotional is, which I do endorse, but men who can't take rejection or horn. Like so outside of that, like we Tuesday could fall on that Wednesday in 2012.
And is that it might sound off, people might not like the word, but it's that ownership kind of thing. And what I mean is and this coming from sermons that I hear, especially TDJs, right? There was a whole series he called Emotion, and that just hit me like real thing in that, right? So and that's what he talk about women as a plane, but I kind of evolve it, right? I would say men are the plane. The emotional response is how they approach a runway.
Right.
Men come to the runway, land. Women are helicopters. They have to come.
And cover before
And yet, like a propeller, the propeller will just fall out. You take your time. You want to talk about something else, but everything but I know. So, you didn't get to buy food for lunch. Babe, how was your day? Well, I reach on work. And this girl will come with the same thing I have on. You can believe she. And you get about 20 different, so before you reach, Smokey Joe's, then Hano.
yeah.
And that was the main thing.
So you've never well, there are a lot of guys who do that as well, though. Hardly likely.
It's about the select thing. So a football game, you understand?
Right, you definitely get back. Fair enough.
Arsenal lost, but we can tell you every mistake they make. You understand? Especially as an Arsenal fan.
I think it's going to be making 4 years.
Yeah, and what I was saying at the top, what I was saying at the top about the ownership thing is like men view a lot of their life as gathering points, and everything is somewhat about the money. Money is not really about the money; it's really about that score. Becoming a millionaire is just seeing that 6 is that score. Because if it's a married man, a good married man, that is, You're going to your family and your wife, and you're just glad to see she's spending, but
Exactly.
you achieved that score.
Yeah.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
And that is why I believe having a good woman in your life, having a good marriage, that is a big score. And then something like a butt, a horn, infidelity, and when I talk about emotions on a serious note, I believe women's emotional nature gives them practice to be emotional. And
I don't know.
so you have a lot of practice being emotional, and therefore it might sound off, but you manage your emotions better than men. Men not accustomed being emotional.
No, but that is
So when that, I'm using that big example, like infidelity hit, and man is do stupid thing, like I said, thing you're not endorsing, a rejection. Men it's on record that men can't handle that well, and I have to say men. It don't include me, but if you're looking at statistics and stuff like that, and domestic violence is at least what reported. More men are reported being the abuser than a woman.
Okay, let's talk you just spoke about like men and emotion, right? So some women don't necessarily like an emotional man.
That's an
Right,
confusing thing.
That's an next confusion.
Okay, let me just say I don't like emotional men. Let me just say that. That might be wrong. Let me say don't like. You see yourself, right? You saw yourself.
Cut that out.
But women don't like when men cry all the time. Let me say that. Which I guess more or less means the same thing. Pretty much.
Not necessarily, no. Not necessarily. I don't think. So I think the reason why women don't like men or soft man is because of that leadership dynamic. And women love showing support and stuff like that for men who express emotions and stuff like that. But there comes a point in time, I think that I'm not a woman. So I don't know, but I from a man's perspective, where our responsibility of leadership, that whole leadership dynamic, it doesn't call for a lot of weakness, one, and then for the consistent display of weakness, two.
Right.
So I think in even in this 2020, although the patriarchy is still, doing what the patriarchal system doing, I think now where we have a lot of career-oriented women, a lot of women who are driven by their own passions, by their own stuff, it's extremely hard for them to accept a man that they deem less than mentally in that mental capacity, because they will view that he is not able to lead me.
Okay. So, in your opinion, do you believe that women give more mixed signals than men do?
It depends on the circumstance. It depends on the situation.
I appreciate that you didn't jump out and say, yeah, of course.
Oh, no. It depends on the situation. If if I jealous, come around it. Because it's all about keeping the 3 points now. You're not giving up your knobs now. That's what makes you illegal. They give up your knobs. Somebody can ring a combo and do it. They can control it. So, but yeah, it really actually it depends on our situation. So, if a man has options, this is usually how it works, right? I'm going to say from a man's perspective. Do you want a man have a lot of options and he tackling a girl but you're not 100% sure? He give a little and hold back. Give a little, hold back, that kind of thing.
So everybody have options the same?
Yeah. If a man don't have options, what you doing? If a man don't have options, he have no choice but to lay his cards on the table. But usually when a man, or if a man, if like men who don't have good intentions, a man who's a player, that kind of thing. Usually they because it's just enough to keep you interested, but not enough to be fully committed or to express a full, intention of commitment. Okay. So men do that. Women though, in terms of mixed signals, I think they do it on a more general sense. Like for example, in terms of like arguments and stuff like that, you find sometimes a woman will bring up stuff from 3 months ago and you thought that was done with. So we talking about, we talking about one thing that happening today on the 12th of September, or whatever date, the thing, but you bringing up something from, since the coup.
Wow.
So
man does that, tell me. Like, man
no, we're not on that. When we let me not say generally, but most men, when we finish with something that is it. Like me personally, I hate when somebody, I be like, what are you talking about? I thought that done.
And you literally control all the lead issue because in your mind that done now, that done, and then you are going to recycle bin, do some kind of hacking thing to remember.
Exactly.
And then they just use that. They just keep that backup file. Keep that backup file, that external hard drive, to just plug in and you be like, so whatever they feed you, there's be truth, but sometimes it be warped.
Yeah. Okay, so what about if it's something that really hurt the woman, like really affected her, and she forgave, but because you continuously do the same thing over and over and over again, it's hard to kind of like let go now. And sometimes she kind of has to bring it back up so that hopefully she reminds you of it, so that maybe you say, okay, I'm going to try to change. I'm going to listen.
So men are as intelligent as what they think we are.
I don't know.
No, I'm telling you. I'm
telling
you. Like, me not as... Yeah, we very black and white. So, you bringing up that, probably not going to jug anything, any reaction, anything.
Oh, really?
Change.
Wow.
Let me tell you what my jug that change. You see when you threaten to leave? Or when we know you're not leave, or our next man on the scene?
Ladies, you see again. Hey, you see what they get in there?
Just
we got something to work with, right? I'm feeling so good about it.
But it's true.
So really, those things not going to like
nah, because what is happening, man? It's the same point system. If you tell me, Marvia, I don't like this cup here, right? This particular spot on this Y and X axis, right? And alright, I know you don't like it here, but I'm moving to here, which is technically on the table. You really don't like it on the table, but I calculated it here based on this. My point system is like, Dan, you don't see I try and look, I have it here. I mean, I get perfect, but it's progress. I'm making progress, and
okay.
That's how we operate. Like we operate, so we may not put it here. But if you come and say, alright, cool, you know what, I sell anything, but I use that table, I realize, what? And it's the same thing with relationships. If we feel that, and yes, find it a lot, even when in terms of like, a lot with people who trying to co-parent and stuff like that. Even in stuff like that, situations like that, is finding man saying, let me try that thing again, I'll change. It's always been on the cusp of when she started dating again.
Wait a second. Oh my God, thanks for saying that. That is so real. That is the truth.
Yeah, because it's like...
But why though?
Entitlement.
Why? Nah, man. Nah.
Scope.
Wow.
And the whole ownership thing.
Yeah.
Like...
Some ownership. Nah, wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's like... Did it have this new sitcom with... I think it's named Marlon?
Yeah.
Marlon wins and... I enjoy it because of course it's funny, it's a way brother, it's Marlon. But it's this unique situation where let's watch it.
I know about it.
It's a unique situation where
I think they're cool.
he and his ex-wife
they're
still friends and they co-parent and whatever. And he's just cool, he worried and whatever. It had a part where, he's get checked when another man come around and she try to date and stuff like that. So that's a sitcom is art, but it come from a real place now. What is really happening. But talk about mixed signals. I want to add probably in the hat is what I encounter is like priorities. Is what's important to you and what's important to me.
Okay.
I might kind of sell up myself, but try to keep the example vague now, boys. Right? Try to keep the example vague. Woo! But anyway, so let me say getting ready to go somewhere. And as a man, don't like about that. don't like to be hustled now, right? I don't know. It's probably warranted sometimes because I can procrastinate. So I won't say that it's not warranted, but it's warranted sometimes. Just something I don't like now. That's only a peeve. If it's warranted, I really don't have a problem, right? If it's warranted, I'm consistent. But it is getting hustling when it's only something pertaining to you. But if you're hustling me for my own thing, well, that's encouragement.
Yeah.
You're hustling when you want to do things, well, cool, I backing you up. But then when it's something for me and you're taking your time, it's okay to procrastinate then, when it's, my thing.
Oh, yeah, I got you. I can understand.
It probably do fall in the mixed signal thing, but it is mixed signals to me.
In a different.
Yeah. So that might.
I'll throw something in the hat because I was thinking about this. It didn't come to my. I was talking to a friend and we thought my ex, right? It took a while before I was sure that I actually wanted to be in a relationship.
Yeah. We friends a long time.
So, would you call that? Because you know he's Egyptian, right? Do you call that mixed?
Yes. Me too. I didn't even know this situation. And yeah.
Yes.
Personally,
dog.
Personally,
Wait. That's a wait.
That personally, I'm ready to tell you.
You were hanging on a girl. I take over here to call she man, right?
Let me tell you something. If I know that I am not being vulnerable, I'm not putting my heart, I don't mind. We can friend for 6 years, I don't care.
No!
But if I kindly push my parents, if I locking off all my other birds.
Well, yeah, that's
the Zoom clean now.
Clean. What personally for me, I not on that. And I understand females have their process, but I have a thing against
females have their process, right?
Yeah, but I don't like idealism and absolute. I don't believe in idealism and I don't believe in absolutes. Things that just happen, man, there's dead.
What's this movie with Steve Harvey write a book on
think like
the men find the book?
like
Women find the book.
Yeah.
See the one with I think it was the cute girl. What's she name? Megan.
Megan.
Yeah. She example was making a man wait.
Yeah, make it. Them thing don't wait.
This one created that chapter long before Steve Harvey.
Yeah. And
long before.
The truth is, them thing.
What's 90 days?
Yeah.
Multiply that by.
No, but let me tell you, them thing
By
before
4.
because you don't know the intentions of people.
Yeah.
Carry the intention of
so
others.
what if you do know the intentions? What about if the woman is very open and honest with her feelings and how she feels toward you, but she's just not ready to commit because she's not ready to commit. Wait.
You do your thing.
But she's not ready to commit because she's not sure where you are at.
But that's
I didn't even know it. Doctor, everybody around this girl, nobody man was at.
Yeah,
I don't know where she thought he was at, but everybody know. Everybody know.
Personally, like too much maths to me. Honestly, that's just really too much maths. I like talk, like what? I be like that. What? I be like that. Right, cool. Like you do your thing. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
I don't like stress. I be like, alright, you do your thing. You do your thing.
Ooh.
Okay,
So let's come out of that. You might see me getting a burger with somebody or tote. And you can't have the right to tote because we not together. You don't want me done.
But let just take a burger with somebody there. Actually, she that with that.
Well, that's the thing, and that's actually something that we spoke about.
No burger.
So, yeah, exactly.
No burger ever happened.
So then, where's it? Eventually, he was like, well, when I was like, okay, yes, I think, we can call this a relationship. He's like,
we already
no
did.
time to I can't even understand. So, I mean, I understand. I mean, I hope you'll understand where some women are at because it is not right to jump into certain relationships if you're not sure. Maybe based on a past relationship, you may have been hurt, or you're not sure where the guy's heart and head is at, even though you may assume, but based on previous.
You see the mixed signal that's happening right there.
Wow.
Well, I mean, it's them things.
So those things happen. So is it that if you really, I believe, this is just my honest opinion.
Just
I believe,
because it may not be true.
I believe if a man really, really loves a woman, he is going to wait.
Oh, alright, probably never come back in the first.
Steve Harvey is your fault. Your fault.
Right? Am I right or am I wrong?
No, let me tell you the problem with that, right?
Okay.
The problem with that is that when you think that waiting is the only act of love.
Okay, fair
You
enough.
understand?
Okay,
Love isn't just patient.
Definitely not.
You
Right.
understand?
Peril and pain, boy.
Yeah, Dan, no matter, like, I know how I love, right? I am a caretaker by
Nature.
nature, right? It's not me trying to, even if I only have $1 in my name, if that dollar could buy a pound of sugar, bet your bottom dollar that is your pound of sugar.
Okay,
That's
right.
just how it is. I am not extremely emotive. I am not extremely like my affection is displayed differently.
Right.
But you can't equate, okay, if Marvin not doing this, he don't love me. That's foolishness. And personally for me, just for me, if I am, especially at this age, if I'm pursuing someone and there's intent and I'm showing you, and next thing too, like you all don't understand how hard it is for a man as we talk about emotions and all that kind of thing. And if women, you all don't understand how hard it is for a man to lay his cards on the table. You do not understand. Earnestly do it, not just saying it for starting to get, wherever he want this. For a man to come out and be like, Dan, yeah, girl, I really like you and because so and I serious and thing. Because men generally can't take rejection.
Okay.
Men
Alright,
generally, and in general sense, like a man to come out and be like, girl, that girl be like, nah, that. You understand?
I could respect that. Because I really do believe guys can take rejection.
No, we can't. I can take rejection because I train my mind to that. I train my mind, but your default is always to not do that. Yes, it's a consistent everyday something. Okay, cool. You're not, okay, I'm not entitled to this. I'm not entitled to that. I'm not entitled. But it's a consistent thing that eventually becomes a habit, and that habit eventually becomes a lifestyle. But the default is the patriarchal teachings and the patriarchal training that we got from growing up. So when a man shows vulnerability, you understand, in whatever sense, especially, and I always think like articulating or voicing it is the highest order. I know people that say actions speak louder
Well,
than
listen
words.
to me. I was going there with you because I want to know because
No.
that's how women view it. Eh?
Actions do speak louder, but I'm telling you for certain things, if a man, because I could be treating somebody real good and not articulate, I could be treating somebody real good and moving like and telling people, nah, me and she not together, me
But
and
that's the
you
truth.
understand?
That's a good
So
thing too.
yeah, so the truth is when a man is vulnerable enough to wear his heart on his sleeve, and you have him going through a trial and testing period, at least for me, I'm not done that. I just get fed up. You do your thing. You do your thing.
No, but I mean, she's treating you very well and
I
treating you like
together.
Well, then, okay, right, but okay, fair enough. But it's just that
She not saying
entitled,
but we not together.
Yeah.
But we not together. And at that point, I am a free agent.
So, guys, based on the conversation that we've had, do you still believe, after my input, the things that I've said about women and why we do what we do, and would you still say that women are confusing?
Definitely.
Yep.
Definitely. But I will add on to it though. I think women are confusing because of the inaptitude to manage emotions.
Okay.
That inaptitude to properly manage their emotions, or even to identify that hey, I am probably overreacting, or I probably should, add a little more logic to this. It breeds the confusion. It sends the mixed signals. All these kind of things. Yeah.
Okay.
I would call it because we share a slight different view in the probably the word management, or at least how we use it. because I'll say they anyhow, but I get what you're saying. I was saying for about just being emotional on the whole and having practice being emotional, and that is what they have more liberty. Women have more liberty with their emotions, and that comes from
That's for sure.
that comes from. I mean, we just talk against gender roles, but we are different. Women and women.
Yeah, for sure.
The rules have changed over time, and what is required, what is expected, what
What is
people should be
accepted.
free with, acceptance, right? And but some things still remain, and women have more liberty still with their emotion. When we talk about patriarchy and the whole idea of men should really suppress a lot, or are trained to suppress a lot.
Yeah.
Women have more liberty with their emotion, and with that now, that is how you find generally men are more straightforward and to the point. And with women with that liberty, that emotional liberty, they go where they feel.
Yeah.
They go where they feel, and that is what can be confusing. Because sometimes, as a man, there was a whole movie, What Women Want, and a book. There's this whole thing, and it's kind of like being similar. That whole you want something, go get it. You're constantly asking yourself that question as a man. What you want? What you want? I'll provide it. What you want? You can get it. What you want, and then what you want comes out in different things. Or sometimes I don't know what I want. You know. So I think I would put a stamp on it, and the liberty of emotion is confusion.
Definitely.
So you look at the answer, please. I understand what you guys are saying. I really do. Because it's the truth. We as women, we are definitely very emotional.
This is the first ever in history.
I will copy this video.
First ever
To put in my hard drive.
admittance of anything ever.
But it's important that we know. I understand. And I accept that I don't believe that we're confusing. But I do.
We can agree
I do.
on an
do.
episode. A woman confusion. I agree, but I do agree.
But I do
You see what I mean? You see,
Wow.
fellas who see this? Right now, we was kidnapped and we trapped, and she forced us to do this. This is that SOS.
Thank you guys so much. I really, really, really appreciate it. It was amazing and amazing talking to you. The conversation could have gone on forever, trust me. But yeah, I loved the conversation and I loved having them, and I hope you loved this conversation with Ty as well. See you in the next episode.